Hi, I'm Paul from VeloX, and I'm going to show you the best way I think you should clean your Brompton. Firstly, I'm going to show you the items I need to clean the bike and then re-lube the bike. Down here, I've got some Finish Line Superwash. Other brands are available. That's going to be our bike wash. I've got a rag. I've got a brush, a very soft brush. Coffee, important. And then to re-lube, I've got some Teflon dryer lubricant, and I've got some wet lubricant for the chain. But the most important thing that we need, in my opinion, to clean a bike is a garden pressure washer. I am adamant, and this is from years of experience, that you should not use a hose on any bike. The pressure from a hose is too big for a bike, and it can jet water into lots of places you don't want water to go. So let's see the pressure between the two. So let's see the pressure from a hose. Light. That's quite heavy actually. Admittedly, you can make it a bit lighter, but generally, if you're going to be using a drip like that, I wouldn't say there's much point in using a hose. Usually, video I've seen of people washing their bikes, it's usually that, and that's way too much pressure, especially on an internal hub system for my lovely Brompton. When I've serviced bikes, I can tell when someone's been using a hose on their bike. And literally the last one last year that I serviced, every bolt was just really tight to undo, and it causes more problems because everything gets seized. If we look at the garden pressure washer, let's look at the hose on this. You can see it's a much gentler pressure, and that's on the lightest setting. If I go like this, there's a little bit more pressure. Generally today we're going to work on the kind of lesser pressure and just increase it when I need to move stubborn parts. So there's lots of different cleaners you can use, and it's always worth finding a cleaner that works for you and looking up the specifications and the instructions, and always testing a little area on your bike so you don't cause any damage. I use Finish Line Super Bike Wash, but I actually stray away from kind of the instructions that they say because I've kind of got my own way of doing it and I like it, and that's what I'm going to show you now. So the reason I need to clean my bike is I had a lovely ride across Dartmoor from Plymouth to Tavistock. The Brompton's not super dirty, but the back end has got more dirt on it that I would like, and generally I will always clean the bike when it gets this muddy. So I filled my garden sprayer with water, and the next thing I need to do is pressurize it so I can get pressure out the nozzle. These are about £12 to £20, not super expensive, so well worth the investment. First of all, what I want to do is wet the bike. I'm not going to go too much up to the handlebars because they're not that bad, but definitely the drivetrain. If I want to jet off any parts that are a little bit bigger, I can turn that, and that will assist me a little bit to get rid of all the stubborn bits. You can see it's removing from the tyre. Excellent. So put that to one side. On the Finish Line bottle, you need to turn the nozzle to on. There's this little clip, and it's always worth having it down. There's a small mesh in there, and it kind of foams everything up nicely. So we'll make sure that's down. And then I'm basically going to spray it all over the bike. On this bike, I'm not going to put loads on the charging device, so I'll go around that, but the rest of it's fine. As mentioned, there's lots of different ways you can use this. I'd recommend choosing a cleaner, and you can figure out what is the best way for you. That's the joy of it. Might want to turn the rear wheel a little bit. So go around here because sometimes you will miss parts. Do the front hub as well. Lovely. Now we wait for about 3 minutes for it to do its thing. So we've waited a maximum of about 3 minutes. I just want to repressurize the canister because it would have lost some pressure after we used it first of all. And then it's time to take off the cleaner. I'll use a little bit more of pressure just so I make sure it all goes. Best thing to do is to start at the top. The garden pressure is a really good solution, especially if you live in a flat, because you can have it ready. They don't take up loads of space, and you're not reliant on a hose. You can have them in a porch or in a cupboard. You'll always get stubborn bits that won't necessarily want to come off, and that's where the rag and the brush come into play. But as you can see, most of it is coming off. The process we just followed is taking loads of muck off the bike. I'd like to get it a little bit more blingy, so I'm going to just go round with my rag on any parts that I feel I want to kind of spruce up. One thing that we don't want to do is with either the brush or the rag, is we don't want to go and use it on any oil sections and then go and take the rag or the brush and then go and use it on a brake section. So we've got to be careful about cross-contaminating parts of the bike by cleaning it. So just now, I'm just going to do the rims as the first bit, do a little bit of the frame, and then I'll switch to doing the cogs. The other option is you could have 2 rags, one for non-gear parts and one for geared parts. Already looking a little bit better. Really happy with the wheels and the brakes. I'm not too bothered about leaving a little bit of mud on the tyres. The drivetrain is always going to be a stubborn area to remove grease from. As mentioned, if I go in with a rag now and then I use that rag on the brakes, you're potentially going to be putting oil on the brakes. So either use a separate rag, or at the end just use the same rag and then wash it, but don't go and then use the brakes. Use it on the brakes because you could have problems. So here we got a bit of stubbornness, so we can just wipe that off. Nice and easy. Again, I'm not using loads of pressure. If I really wanted the Brompton to be super blingy, then that's part of my kind of annual service of stripping it down. For now, I'm just getting it in a nice condition so it's ready for the next ride. And then also, it's not going to sit with loads of water on it, whether that's water from the road or water from washing. I'm just making sure that I'm taking all of it off. As most of you will probably know from our previous videos, the Brompton is steel, so it does rust. Whether Sarah can focus in on that, you can see there's a little bit of rust there. That's part of the patina of this paintwork. But if I just let water sit on the frame and sit on the components, over the years it would fall into disrepair. The derailleur systems on Brompton's quite compact, so these do get quite a lot of muck. On a day-to-day basis, I'm not too bothered that this is fine now as the mud has gone, but definitely when I service it, it all comes apart, degreased as necessary. I don't feel as though I need the brush today, but I'll explain how it can be used, especially on other derailleur systems. A nice soft bristle brush can get all in the components and give them a good clean like this. You can use degreaser on bikes. Again, you don't want degreaser to be getting onto other components, so I generally use degreaser in the workshop. If you do use this, you will have oil on that, so it kind of makes it unusable for anything else. And again, you don't want to be doing the cogs and then going up to the brakes. I know I keep repeating myself on that point, but it's super important, especially when you come to disc brakes, as replacing discs and pads can be well over 100 quid a pop. So for me, my chain looks nice and healthy. I know it's a bit dirty in places, but generally it's not rusty, it's not over-oiled. But for this purposes, I will clean the chain a little bit because we are going to re-lube the chain. And I just move it backwards, trying to make sure that I don't get it on my hands. Again, at this stage, I'm not looking to take everything off because it's still got some nice lubricant on there. I'm just looking to get it ready for the next outing. And clean the pedals. So that's me happy that I've got the bike to a state where I can now apply some lube. So here we have some TF2 Ultimate lubrication. It's a dry lubricant, so you can use it on your chain in the summer and then use it on components It will expel water and lubricate at the same time, so really good to use after washing. They usually come with a straw. I'm not sure where mine is, and I'm not too bothered about using it on the Brompton, but that you can put that on the end and it will direct the spray a little bit more. I always have a rag in hand when using this, because it might be that I have to use this near brakes. And again, we've talked about cross-contamination, so I can use this as a barrier if I need to spray and it's not going to go on the brakes. So I like to lubricate the hinges. Give it a spray and just a wipe around. Then it's worth just opening them up a little bit. The bolts themselves will have, you won't be able to see it, you might be able to see it slightly, just here on the thread. Yes, there. There's grease from the last service, so that's going to stay there because I haven't used a hose to jet it out, so I'm not worried about replacing that. But just because I've put loads of water in that area, I like to do the hinges. So there's some elements of the frame at the back that I'll put lubricant on. I've got a new spring, as some of you might know from our previous videos. So I'll just give that a little bit of love. No harm in that. I do like to put a little bit around the seat post. On most seat posts you use grease, but you can't do that on the Brompton because you'd get grease everywhere. But it does help just putting a little bit there and wiping it off. Underneath, this tube comes down and is open, and they are quite prone to rust under there. So sometimes just a little bit of love will just get rid of any kind of excess water. Wiping off any excess so it just doesn't go onto the ground. Making sure just to be clean as I go along and minimise kind of impact on the garden and wildlife as much as I can. We got a nice little cable here that operates the hub gears. I do like to give that a little zizz, 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 zizz. Nothing wrong with that. And then the derailleur system itself down here, we can just get the rag behind. That's the device that moves the cogs, so that likes a bit of love. So why oil chains? Well, here we have Finish Line's wet bike lubricants. This is kind of for extreme weather. This is the main one that I use. You can put it on and kind of forget about it. There's lots of different lubes out there. Again, have a look at what's right for you, do your own research. But all we're looking to do is to put a drop on each link to stop friction building up so the chain doesn't wear as much. We don't want to coat it in oil, because what can then happen is any rubbish from the road or the tracks will cling to the chain and build up friction. So all I'm looking to do is put a dollop, or a drop you might say, on each chain link. And then it's good to lean the Brompton against a wall or against a surface where you can just move the pedals round. I've lubricated the chain and I've lubricated every link. Now what I want to do is just move the pedals backwards so the oil can find its way into the chain. And I use my rag and I just lightly hold the chain and just remove any excess. Another place which is always good to put a little bit of lubricant is the jockey wheels. So just here, just a little dollop, it'll find its way in side, and we can do that as well. Again, we can wipe off any excess. So I don't lubricate my bike after every ride. Sometimes it's not necessary. You go on a nice dry ride and the chain's fine and you don't actually need to give the bike any attention. But definitely after you've cleaned it, you need to re-lubricate the bike, because if you clean it and you don't, then water will sit on the bike and you'll come back and parts of it will be rusty. We'll be doing a little mini series on cleaning bikes. We've started with the Brompton because we got the Brompton nice and mucky on a ride on the weekend. We'll be looking at road bikes and touring bikes because there are little different elements of cleaning to be aware of and little different things you can do to maximize the lifespan of the products that you have on the bike and looking after them in total. So thank you for watching me clean my Brompton. I'm now ready and I can sleep at night folding it up and putting it to where it's stored. Give us any tips or advice that you have if you clean your Brompton a different way, or if there's anything you disagree with. I base my experience on kind of being a lifelong cyclist and caring for this bike, but it's always worth hearing your comments. Please click and subscribe if you like.